In this lesson, we're going to go over the song The More I Seek You by Kari Jobe and Gateway Worship. So that verse is going to sound like this. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. Alright, so this song, we're doing it up here in the key of G, no capo. I'm going to show you how to play this song with some of those, some strumming. We're going to go over some finger picking. I've got some really nice picking for this song, using some of these regular shapes here, and then also using some different chord variations. The more I seek you, the more I find you. Using those same chords, G, D, E minor, and C, just up here on the fret. So we'll get to that in a minute. The chords for this song, just 4 chords. We're going to use this G chord here. Then we need a C chord. Then we need a D chord, and then an E minor chord. So this is going to be a good lesson. We'll be able to cover a lot of stuff because the song, it's only those 4 chords in that order. So G, D, E minor, C, and that order just repeats for the verse and the chorus. So like I said, I want to get to a couple of different things in this lesson. Definitely some finger picking, definitely using some alternative shapes up here, and then I want to go through a couple of different strum patterns for you for this song. A super basic one if you're a beginner and you just want to learn the song and play it and worship to it, and then a couple of more maybe advanced ones with a little bit more rhythm and a little bit more flow. So for this song, let's start off on the verse. I've got the chords and the lyrics, they'll be up on the screen. I have the chord charts on my Patreon page. So if you need to print the chords out, if you need to download them into a PDF, I did make those. They're on my Patreon page. The link for that is in the description down below. So if you need that as a resource, definitely that's where you'll find them. So for this first verse, why don't we just start with a very beginner strum pattern. It's just going to be down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So it would sound like this. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. We're going to the chorus with this. And I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hands, lay back against you and feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I'm melting your peace, it's overwhelming. And then that's just, you would go into the verse again, then you would repeat the chorus again 1 or 2 more times, and then maybe flow a little bit if you wanted to. But that's how you do that strum pattern. If we wanted to do 2 other ones that, you know, are pretty common in worship music, you could do down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. Chorus. And I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hands, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I'm melting your peace, it's overwhelming. So the third strum pattern, very similar, just gonna be like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. And I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hands, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so real, it's more than I can stand. I'm melting your peace, it's overwhelming. So if you wanted to use any of those patterns, you definitely could. If you want to use a hybrid and just kind of feel it out, you could definitely do that. What I was doing at the beginning of this video, I was kind of adding some hammer-ons, like hammering onto that E minor, hammering onto this C, doing a pull-off on this D. And it's just, not that you want to be doing hammer-ons and pull-offs on literally every single chord, but if you're just keeping it nice and soft, the more I seek you, the more I find you. It just adds a nice little, I don't know, flavor, a nice just sound. You're adding a little bit of, you know, small, subtle dynamics to the chords that really kind of liven it up and make it sound really nice. So you could do that, some of those hammer-ons. You could also use some different chord variations. I've gone through some of these chords in some other lessons that I've done, alternative or alternate chord voicings in the key of G. So like instead of playing that C, you could play this C. Instead of playing a D here, you could play this D, play this E minor, play this open G here. So I'll include the link that I've done for that lesson. I won't have time to go through every single fret and chord shape and chord voicing in this lesson, but I've done a whole nother video on it, so I'll include that in the description and up top. So if you decided to use some of those alternate chord voicings, it could sound something like this. The more I seek you, the more I find you. the more I find you. The more I love you. And I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming. So I don't know, maybe something like that with some of those additional chord voicings. So that gives you a pretty good idea as to what you can do strumming wise and dynamic wise with this song. Let's get into the finger picking real quickly. Super simple pattern here. We're in our finger picking position right here. I've done a full lesson on finger picking, going into detail on where my fingers are and just a much deeper dive into finger picking. So if you're new to finger picking, I'm going to include that link up top and in the description. But just a Clip Notes version, this thumb is assigned to the top 3 strings here. Pointer finger locked in on that G string, 3rd from the bottom. Middle finger locked in on that B string, 2nd one from the bottom. And then I've got the ring finger and kind of the pinky finger just stabilizing. And you can use the ring to pick that high E string if you want to. So for this, the pattern, I'm going to show you 2. The first pattern, a basic pattern, is just going to be this. So thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. And you'll do that pretty much on every single chord. I seek you, the more I find you, the more I find you, the more I love you. And then that's the same for the chorus. So, you know, it sounds a little robotic. You know, that's a beginner one. You can still pick it and you can still worship to that. If you wanted to add a little bit more flow and a little bit more rhythm, we're just going to do the same thing. So, and in between, after every pattern of this, we're going to add in the pointer, thumb, pointer again. So. The more I seek you, the more I find you, the more I find you, the more I love you. So that's a really good option there until you even get more and more rhythmic and you're just adding in some additional thumbs and pointers here and there. So work on that as far as finger picking goes. And then, yeah, just a couple of additional nice, pretty chords that we can do. And in the same video that I was talking about earlier, the alternative or the alternate chord voicings in the key of G, I go over using this G shape here, sliding it up to the, I guess that would be the 8th fret here, which is a C chord. sliding that shape up 2 more to the 10th fret, which is now a D chord. And what I was doing, and what I usually do, is I just keep my middle finger and my ring finger on those strings, and then I take my pinky and my pointer finger off. So really, you're just kind of plucking those 2 there. And then that E minor is right here. C, D, so, and the pattern is the same. The picking pattern is the same, whether you use these shapes down here or whether you slide up here. So it could sound something like this. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. And I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand, and I'm melting your peace, it's overwhelming. So even right there, that G, you can do that one if you want to as well, and that's in the, that goes, I cover that in the lesson that I was referencing earlier too. So if you want to get kind of cute, you can do that one. There's your D, E minor, C, back to the G. So that shows you how to play the song, The More I Seek You. A lot of good stuff in this song, strumming, rhythm, picking, alternative chords. Hopefully that helped you out. Again, if you need the chord charts, they're on my Patreon page. Print them off, download them, use them as a resource if you need them. Leave a comment if you're confused or you have any questions. But if not, I'll see you in the next one.